one of the first banks that Ripple signed. So today we have a product in market that's we're releasing version 4. When we launched version 1.0, which is always an exciting time for a tech company, you release a product, it's version 1.0. We launched that product. We were partnered with one of the largest banks in the Middle East, and we went to market and we went live. And we had a call from a very upset Middle Eastern banker saying, wait a minute, people can see my transactions. I don't want people to see my transactions. So look, blockchain is powerful and a public ledger can be leveraged to make transactions. But banks, I mean, if every SCB transaction was written to a public ledger, would SCB be excited about that? The answer is no, I'll tell you very certainly. The nature of how we have evolved our technology, yes, some of it, XRP is a public open ledger. A different part of Ripple's technology that connects banks to the liquidity solutions, these are private, think about it almost as a private temporary blockchain between two banks. It's cryptographically signing the transaction, holding it in escrow and releasing it at the same time, so you never have a situation where a transaction doesn't complete. But the point I would make is, those who espouse this idea of, look, all transactions should be open, I look at that and I think, that is not the real world. We can talk about the origins, particularly around Bitcoin and to some of the degree other tokens, has been this idea of, hey, we're going to circumvent governments. We don't want the government involved. We're going to circumvent banks. Look, Ripple, we come at it from exactly the opposite point of view. Governments aren't going away. By extension, banks are definitely not going away. We can enable banks to enable an internet of value. If you want to enable an internet of value, you have to connect the repositories of value. The repositories of value are the banks. We want to work with the banks, with financial institutions, with payment providers, with Linlin Pay or PayPal or fill in blank, to dramatically accelerate the nature of how payments occur today and reducing that friction.
In this country too, QR codes is a really easy thing to do for tipping, for very small businesses, but we have an entrenched point of sale system here. It's going to be very different in the U.S. than China.
Brett, any last thoughts from you as we wrap it up?
Well, if to the extent I would comment on the earlier panel, I think there was a comment a little bit like, well, Alipay is just embedding in New York City taxis as addressing the tourists. Alipay has grand ambitions in the United States. I agree 100% with Dan that each market has its unique.
Do they admit that? I'm not sure they admit that, but you think that's they eventually want to be a big player in payments here?
I think there's no doubt about that.
What makes you say that?
I'm sure Dan and I both have had conversations with people at both those companies, and I think
we're going to a different economy, and we're going to be learning more about that as we go. But clearly, we're learning that things can be done from remote locations. We're learning that technology can replace people even more than we thought.
We're not going back to the same economy. We're recovering, but to a different economy, and it'll be one that is more leveraged to technology. And I worry that is going to make it even more difficult than it was for many workers.
In Silicon Valley, and my friends who work in technology know that what we did to the manufacturing workers, we are now going to do to the retail workers, the call center workers, the fast food workers, the truck drivers, and then even bookkeepers, accountants, insurance agents, lawyers, and on through the economy. So what happened to the manufacturing workers is a very clear.
Welcome to the Crypto Teacher. And guys, please like and subscribe. If you do like what you're listening to, please inform your friends and family and spread all over social media. It is imperative that we get back to learning finances and understand how the world really works. Because once we understand how the world really works, we understand that everything is planned out. Now, I want to thank those who purchased the books Crypto Teacher and the New World Order book. Remember, those books are mandatory because they show you how the world really works. Also, those who've donated to the Cash App, Patreon, much love. And then also, those who are shopping at both stores, much love to you. And of course, guys, we get into Bitcoin and cryptos first. As we can see, the stock market has moved down. Cryptos have moved down. And guys, we know they need Bitcoin as collateral, but as you can see, the open interest has went down. So like I stated to you last month, take a screenshot because you're not going to see that again. And as we see, remember I did the video on the yield rates. The Fed let off the warning shot and they said they're not going to do anything about the yields. They're going to let them rise. And as it rises, guys, it's going to shrink liquidity, especially as we're seeing the dollar is moving up. Now, guys, they printed all this money where the dollar should be moving down. The dollar is gaining strength. So, of course, that's going to actually hit the markets. Now, also, guys, we have Grayscale, which is very, very important. Grayscale Bitcoin Trust is trading at a 12% discount. I've been over the NAV. That means what? Selling pressure. So, guys, all the manipulation we saw of them moving up, they're going to take advantage of it moving down. Do not forget, their job is to take your money. But what is the savior that we have? Well, of course, we have the weekend. We're going to be the only game in town. Now, as we know, what do we look at? The indicators, volume. As we can see, volume has left. So we knew we weren't going to be making a big move because we have to have volume. Always pay attention to the actual indicators. Volume, Tether, and USDC. Now, when I was speaking about yields, a lot of people ask, why are you talking about yields on a Crypto Teacher channel? Now you see why. Now you're starting to see articles talking about bond yields. Also, guys, don't forget the Fed facilities close on the 31st. We know Janet Yellen's money, and we also know that $1.9 trillion is coming, but a lot of that is already baked in. Even though we have had a little correction, this is a small correction. We still have these EV stocks, charging station stocks that don't even have a product yet with billions of dollars of market cap. The same way when you look at crypto. We're over $1 trillion in market cap, but guys, we're not in the real use cases. This is still all speculation. But let's get over into the actual crypto news. We have Brad Garlinghouse says Ripple expansion not affected by the SEC lawsuit. And guys, we know why. They're in charge of Society 5.0 and the Fourth Industrial Revolution. We know Ripple is part of the central banks. Please go watch my videos, Society 5.0 and Ripple. Guys, this is all part of the New World Order's plan. When you look at Ripple, when you look at the Stellar Foundation, they're all over the emerging markets. Remember, the emerging markets are going to rise, and America the Babylon is going to fall. Now we have MicroStrategy. Of course, their stock has fell by 50% over the last 17 days, but we know keep hearing Michael Saylor buying the Bitcoin dips, which they're still way up when it comes to Bitcoin. Now we also have former Goldman Sachs CIO tells Elon Musk to dump Bitcoin and go into buyback. Now we know Bitcoin is definitely going to have a correction, but it's going to be slow. Go back to 2018, and we didn't even have institutional investors in there. Go back to 2018 when we went from the 20,000 down to 3,000. So it just didn't happen overnight. We're going to have a slow leak. We're going to have those pumps and dumps the same way the stock market is going to have its pumps and dumps. We have to make sure we are definitely prepared. Those who've been with me since last year, January, we already know. If you're new to this channel, sit back and actually learn. Go back through the actual videos. You have plenty of time to learn. Now we have Volkswagen as Palantir Energy Web's token blockchain to integrate electric vehicle with power grid. So we know how important Energy Web token is going to be. That's all we heard about is renewables. So definitely this blockchain is definitely going to be important to this new ecosystem. We're going through a paradigm shift when it comes to energy. Now we have Bitfury, U.S. Bitcoin mining subsidiary, to go public, $2 billion SPAC merger. So make sure, guys, you look that up, put it on your calendar. Not your financial advisor, not financial advice. Please do your own research. Now we have Bison Trails launches staking and node service for Cosmos. Also, guys, we have Bloomberg adds price data for 6 new crypto assets. That's Orchid, OMG Network, EOS, which we know EOS is always one of China's top blockchains, Chainlink, Tezos, and Stellar. So we definitely keep seeing the big players in. And this is very important. It sounds small, but it's very important because it's in the customers' faces. They may be on Bloomberg watching news. They may be on Bloomberg seeing stocks. And then basically they're going to actually see crypto. Everything is an image. If it's in front of your face, you're going to start looking up. You're going to start researching it. That's the reason why I was on CNBC for a whole 2 weeks. As you can see, the narrative has switched though. The narrative has changed. At first, we was going through GameStop, Reddit. Then we moved over to Bitcoin. Now it's the Fed back on the stimulus package. Remember, the narrative's changed. If you have my book, you understand that. And then lastly, guys, we have the FCA ban in UK for the derivatives trading is now starting to happen. Of course, right now, Bybit is going to start shutting down its trading. So it's definitely going to affect the markets. But guys, like I stated, we're definitely going to have a correction in the actual stock market and in cryptos. But we are going to get an injection. Remember, Janet Yellen still has that money where she can manipulate the yields at any time. And then plus, we have this 1.9 trillion that's going to hit the market. And just like I stated, it's only going to be a short-term injection. And then towards the end of the year, beginning of next year, guys, we're going to be going through pain. And when I say pain, we're going to go through pain. We see all the job losses. We see all these people behind on rent, mortgages is going to hit the market. Get yourself prepared. Get your family prepared. It's very important. Never forget what the New World Order does. They cause a problem, they wait on the reaction, and then they come in with the solution. Remember, everything the New World Order does is already planned out. But that's all I have for you guys. Don't forget about the books, Crypto Teacher and the New World Order book. Also, if you're new to cryptos, Coinbase, BitChute, Binance, don't forget book links and crypto links are in the description. Also, the stock channel, guys. Stock channel is very, very important because stocks and cryptos, all that is together. Remember, stocks are just going to be tokenized and put on blockchain. Remember the channel, Crypto Teacher Stock Channel, Crypto Teacher Stocks. But guys, we have the Cobalt, chip stocks, gaming, banking. Everybody's sitting at home. You got that home stocks. The C word, the biotech stocks, they keep pumping and dumping. And while everybody's at home getting free money or waiting on that free money, what are they doing? Drinking and smoking weed. Don't forget about those stocks, and y'all have a wonderful day.